Hello, everyone. Okay, so this is great. This is Fat Mascara, but this is like, I was like our Brady Bunch episode, but you can't really see. Because I'm looking at a square. I'm looking at 4 squares. Hollywood squares? I don't know. I've got Garrett. I've got Jen. I've got Julie.
Hi.
Like the gang is all here.
Yo, I'm so excited.
This is amazing.
This is wild.
I feel so warm and cozy. This is fabulous. We've established something really nice. It's like a good crew. And selfishly, I just love it because I get to see you guys right now.
Totally.
I know, we get to see you.
I also want to say
hello.
thank you. Like, you guys are amazing. You just like come in and like, boom.
Thanks.
Right. Just adding like that extra oomph.
Ooh, I like that.
I have to say, when I was about to record today, my husband was like, "Oh, today's the Captain Planet episode."
The Avengers.
He was like,
Avengers have united.
So when your powers combine, do people just wake up dewier?
Yes.
I want to say I'm getting all of the comic book references, but I came in with Brady Bunch, so that tells you where my like reference points are. So
I was going to go with Voltron.
I like the superhero moment.
Yeah.
Like that makes me happy.
yeah, I like superhero.
I do feel like people will wake up dewier, their hair, great hair, smelling great.
Feeling good about themselves, feeling
Soft
stronger,
skin.
more powerful,
Yes.
more confident. So what have you guys, I mean, I know what you guys are talking about because I've been listening, but like, what's on your mind? What should we talk about? Let's go around in a circle.
Oh my God. You go first.
Well, Jen and I actually saw each other last night in real life last night. So we talked about a lot. We were out to dinner for like 2.5 hours. And at the end, I was like, I feel like we didn't talk about a lot. And Jen was like, we talked all night.
The worst.
You guys were doing a CW thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, there's still more topics. There's still more topics.
We also, it's funny, we got recognized a couple times. So when Jess and I walk around together, I think
when we're together, I think we have to be together to be recognized.
yeah, but at the same time, Julie, last night you got recognized, right?
I know. I'm trying to find her name because, hello, I was literally standing in Columbus Circle talking to a friend in my ear, just chilling. And this amazing woman is walking towards me and literally stops walking, looks me dead in my face. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I know her? Did we work together? Did we go to school? Like, her face is not registering.
Uncomfortable feeling.
Uncomfortable, because I was like, I hate that feeling. Like, I want to remember the people. And so she was like, I'm sorry, I just had to stop because I'm literally listening to you right now on Fat Mascara. And she like shows me her phone and she's literally listening to the podcast. I was like, yes.
And you had the good sense in the moment to take a photo.
I'm a journalist in 2024. Like, of course I'm taking the picture. It didn't happen unless you document it. Like, nobody
so
would have
true.
believed me if you
Garrett,
hadn't documented it.
Have you been recognized yet?
I'm sorry to say I have not. I'm the odd one out.
Sorry. It'll happen.
I'm like walking around like waiting for someone to do it. No, just kidding.
You have to start talking.
It's the voice.
Ivana, I'm
Yeah.
shouting out her name because I
yes,
gave her
that's
my
okay.
email address so that we could keep in touch. Her
wow,
name
okay.
is Ivana Capita, and she is media relations specialist at FIT, and her handle is @Beauty MVP, like most valuable player.
A woman who knows her worth. I love it.
Yes.
These
Like,
are our
come
listeners.
on.
Yeah, I love it.
The listeners we met last night, Jess and I, after every interaction, were like, our listeners are so smart.
Oh my
and
God,
so
we
cool.
met one on the line for the massage,
Julia,
the free
yes.
massage, which was, by the way, like one of my favorite parts of the evening. We both got free massages. And I gotta say, one woman, Jen and I were dying, one woman was sent to another planet during her massage.
She walked away. It was just one of those chair massages where, like, after work, they like get their elbows into your traps and stuff.
She was stumbling.
I said to the masseuse as I sat down, I was like, she looked like she just got laid. Like,
That's a good massage.
Yeah.
For a 5-minute chair massage at CEW Expo?
And then
Yes.
Jen got that lady. I was so pissed.
Oh, she
I
had
was
good hands, strong.
Yeah.
That's when you know it hit.
I love that Jen was talking through her whole massage.
Oh,
I
yeah.
also
She
do that.
wasted her entire time with this lady. I would have been nice and quiet.
I cannot help myself. I meet a new person and like 2 minutes later, I know their cousin's name. I know everything about them. My husband's always like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know, asking questions. It's my job.
I know.
Not to be TMI, but I had a new waxer the other day.
Go on.
And it turned out that she was like a skincare freak. So we were talking about skincare the whole time. And she was like telling me all this stuff that she ordered off of TikTok. And literally it was like an hour's worth of like nonstop talking as she's like,
as you're getting waxed.
What did she order? I'm always interested in
what did you get waxed?
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
What didn't I get waxed is more the question.
Yeah, why was she there for an hour? That's her job. I'm usually in and out in like 15.
Listen.
I don't even get waxed.
Good for you, Julie.
I saw my life flash before my eyes one time, and I was like, you know what? Is it worth it? She got 2 good yanks, and I was like, it was my first and my last wax.
You were like the 40-year-old
2
version.
good wanks. I was like, we're good here. I went home, shaved the rest. Asked my husband, can you tell where I was waxed and where I was shaving? And he was like, no. And I was like, you know what? I can't tell. I'm fine with shaving for the rest of my life.
You're saving yourself a lot of money and time.
That's true.
I mean, thankfully in our profession, I could probably get waxed for free all the time, but I'm going to spare myself the pain.
It is time consuming.
It's time consuming and very painful.
I did a story a couple years ago.
Wait, what did you buy off TikTok? Just give us a couple of things.
Oh, sorry. Have you seen that like biocellulose mask thing that like melts into your skin that people sleep in?
Yes.
So I just bought it. I haven't tried it yet, but she was saying that she got it and she loved it.
Okay.
So I'm just like curious about the sleepings thing because I'm like, I don't want to sleep with like a goopy mask on my face.
I don't love that, but okay.
But they did say the package says you can leave it on for 3 to 4 hours. So if you just leave it on for 4 hours and you're not sleeping, it should be okay, I guess.
Okay.
Next article I'm writing. Pop it on while you're doing because can you be vertical with it on? Will it stick? It'll stick if you can sleep in it, right?
I'm sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. But
what about when your face presses the pillow? Like, is there any kind of yuck?
That's my question.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake up with like a sticky pillow.
We're going to have to get the post-trial information from you, Garrett.
So I will try that and I'll report back. That was the main topic. But then she also, she was like a former facialist who now is a waxer. So we were talking about facial places and things like that.
Interesting. Okay.
He chats like me, Jess, you see? He understands. Yeah. So guys, I brought you all here. No, we wanted to do this just for the listeners who are like, wait, there's 4 people. As you know, we have 2 new contributors as of earlier this year, Garrett and Julie. We're all former or current beauty-focused journalists. So for this, Jess and I love back to school. Do you guys get that same feeling, Julie, Garrett? Like, oh, it's September.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I was like, what a perfect time for us all to get together so everybody knows, no, we really do hang out and love each other and have a similar point of view. When you come to Fat Mascara, you're getting the powers of us combined.
You just gather us in a room.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to call it show and tell, if you'll indulge me. Because remember in school at the beginning of the school year, it was like, what'd you do over the summer? And you had to do show and tell. So I thought we'd all like bring something from over the summer, beauty related, that we wanted to share with the group, chat a little about that. And then last week, Julie and I were talking to the listeners and asked them to send us like Ask Me Anything questions.
There are a couple of goodies in there, a couple of goodies.
Yeah. And then we'll take a break and we'll do Ask Me Anything. But I'm so glad to have you all together. This is so fun. All right, let's take our quickest break and then we'll get into show and tell. Okay, it's time to show and tell. I feel like the teacher who's like, and you're in this classroom. I feel like all of you are the ones who had no problem with public speaking. Am I right?
No, none at all.
I just like to bring in my stuff.
I love to show and tell.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
We're all that kid just grown up. Since Jess was probably in the front row, wiggling in her seat, hand up first. I'm going to throw to you, Jess. I'm going to let Jessica Matlin come to the front of the classroom. How was your summer, Jessica?
This is Jess holding her hand, holding her arm. Me.
So it's so tired. It hurts from being up
when your
so
arm
long.
got tired and you just held it up.
Yeah.
That's so.
Do you remember that feeling? I actually haven't felt that feeling in decades. But now it's like, it's all coming back to me.
Did we just not have triceps when we were little kids? Or we're just holding it up there that long?
I don't know. That's really funny.
So true. Like, why were we so...
God, little kids are so weak.
Our shoulders were so weak.
And look, Julie's doing like they're sitting sideways in their desk, like me.
And then sometimes you just like give up and lie down on the floor and just kind of like let the arm, like as if you were in battle, but it's like just waving it like maybe they'll see me. Oh my God. So
Because we were all probably that kid that they're like, we're not calling on you again, Julie, Garrett, Jess. Thank you. We know you know the answer.
Let someone else try for once.
So weird that we found each other. Okay. Anyway,
Jess, talk to us.
all right. So I really am trying to make my bathroom more of like a haven. That's not really the word, but like more peaceful. I have like a friend who like when I went to their home for the weekend and their bathroom was all like kitted out with like really nice towels and it's a guest bathroom, so I shouldn't have been like fooled, but everything was like in its right spot. And I came home and I was like, fuck this place. Like I just wanted to like bulldoze the entire apartment.
House jealousy.
Do you know what I mean or no?
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
Anybody?
Yeah.
So I just try to make like little additions that will make me feel like, oh, this place is really chill and relaxing. So I've done two things. One, Jen, you'll know this brand because I think that they sent you stuff and then you gave it to me when you like, came over one day. Persons of Interest. It's this eucalyptus aromatherapy shower mist. So I had it in my bin of stuff to go through. And then I was like, why have I been sleeping on this? I'm not going to put eucalyptus in my shower. That's like just not me. I just don't have the time to like maintain it. It's just like crazy. But it looks like first of all, it's huge. It's this like jumbo size mister. How many ounces is it? It's 16 fluid ounces. And then you spray it in the shower and it gives your shower a eucalyptus scent. So you feel like it's a little spa. It's very relaxing. I love this. The other thing I did was, I feel like now I'm a true grown-up. I bought myself a real soap dispenser. So no more plasticky, run out, then go back. Brand doesn't matter, whatever. It's not about the brand. I bought myself just like the kind my mom had, like a ceramic thing. Oh. And now I refill it. And I refill it with, I love this brand, I mentioned it before, Sangra de Fruta, a beautiful brand out of British Columbia. They have beautiful, like wild crafted scents. And I love their Garden of Earthly Delights. Yes, yes. Art history reference. You know, girls.
Hieronymus Bosch. I learned this from Jess.
You know, ladies. Yes. I see you. Art history 101. So we love this scent. It's so beautiful. It's like fruity, but not icky. It's like very like rich and fruity. And I got the jumbo refill. But you can do anything. You go to Trader Joe's. They have the most amazing hand soap refills, and they smell beautiful. I remember I went to, I'm not going to say the facialist name, but this facialist, we all know her. I went into her spa, and I was like, I love that hand soap. That's so beautiful. It's just like Trader Joe's. So like they have beautiful hand soap refills too. And you just put it in a beautiful thing. You can go on eBay. You can go on Poshmark. They have like vintagey things. And I just think it's a nice way to elevate your space.
I agree.
So it still doesn't look like my friend's
Where did
bathroom.
you get yours, your ceramic one?
It's not going to blow you away. I got it at Nordstrom. It's not like I got it at a little vintage find, but I was having one of these like, I was like, I need something this week. I'm not spending $50 and I need something now because I was having I get these like freak out moments where I'm seriously like, I'm going to lose my mind if this does not look different this week. Because I was having I need a change in this space right now. Mm-hmm. And I start throwing things out.
Garrett, when she held up Persons of Interest, I saw your eyebrows go up.
Yeah, what's going on?
I also have it and I love it.
Oh,
yeah. They sent me a bunch of stuff and it's like a niche fragrance house. They're from Canada.
Yeah.
And
oh my God, they're both Canadian brands I mentioned.
You're obsessed with Canada right now. I thought, because there's also a Persons of Interest barbershop here in Brooklyn. It's a chain.
Oh.
And so at first I was like, oh, Persons of Interest, who I'm friends with, is launching fragrance. And then I realized it was a completely different brand.
Oh, okay.
But their stuff is incredible. I really love it, especially that spray. I mean, something that seems really kind of small makes such a big difference. And I'm also I cannot have actual eucalyptus in my shower because I forget about it and it like gets slimy
Gets moldy.
and gross and like
Yeah.
So like that is a really good alternative. I love it. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, and if anyone has any tips on like how to just jazz up your bathroom without adding more crap to it, please let me know. I just love those like minimalist bathrooms.
Yeah.
It's just very calming to me.
Totally.
I got 2 kids. Man.
Well, that's the thing. I have the Barbie boat. I have the speedboat in my bath at all times. I'm like kicking it when I'm showering.
Yeah.
She's squirting it with eucalyptus spray.
But I do
No,
have
seriously.
a eucalyptus. I have the eucalyptus hanging.
Oh, you do the actual... Oh, guys, Julie's that person. We're so impressed by you.
I am. I just don't know how you do that with kids. Yeah.
They don't really mess with it. You know,
I
they're
feel like
sitting in
Lake
the
would be
tub.
floating on her head.
But my thing is, it only gives me that eucalyptus smell and stuff for like a few days. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Do I need to like rehydrate
No,
it
I
some
think it's
way?
one of those BS Instagram-y ideas that I was like, oh, it adds eucalyptus. For true,
It doesn't.
2 days. And then, but on Instagram, you can't smell. So you're like, it looks so pretty in there.
2
Yeah.
days and it dries out. So I'm like,
You got to get the persons of interest. Spray. This is like fake. Now you're double the work.
spray it onto.
Yeah. It's
Got
probably
it.
porous.
Just like spray it, just like into the atmosphere.
yeah.
Okay.
I also spray it on
Done.
on the walls so that the steam kind of helps it circulate a bit.
Jessica, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. I'm going to go sit down now.
Popcorn Garrett. No, just kidding. Garrett, tell us, what did you do all summer?
So I am really into this thing that I brought. And so you guys probably know that brand Therabody, right?
Yeah.
They make like the percussive stuff. So obviously they're getting into beauty. They launched the face tool. They launched the LED mask like 2 years ago, which I love the mask. So they just launched this new device, this thing. It's called the depuffing wand.
Okay.
So it looks like the size of one of those, speaking of elementary school, one of those like jumbo glue sticks you used to have,
Yeah.
that would last you all year. It just came out on September 10th, but I've been using it all summer because, not to toot my own horn, but I was one of the first editors to get informed of this.
Toot!
Of course.
Toot.
Toot.
So I had coffee with the team, like, this is in the spring, and they told me this was coming. They showed me the prototype. Then they did like an editor preview during the summer, which I don't know if you guys went. It was at the Practice, that, facialist place.
Yeah.
And they used it in a facial. And I was like, this is incredible. So basically what's so cool about it is that it comes off, it has this kind of tear-shaped metal tip.
Oh, I like this.
And you can do cold. Let me turn it on so you can see. You can do a cold.
Oh, you don't have to put it in the
setting.
freezer or fridge.
No.
It makes itself cold.
It makes itself cold. You can make it colder. There's like 3 temperature settings. And you can also alternate, you can make it hot too. So now it's hot.
Wow.
So it heats and cools. And what I love about it is that unlike, like you said, the things that you put in the freezer that we all loved, the wands you use during facials and stuff, this doesn't warm up as you're using it because it's electric. So like you can use it for hours and it doesn't get warmer. And it's like kind of major. I mean, almost every morning I'm like using it on my face,
What do you mean it
my
doesn't
eyes.
get warmer? Like, I thought you said it warms up.
Well, cold spoon comes to room temperature as
Oh, I get what you're saying.
If
Yeah,
you're using
I get it.
the heat of your body, it'll just naturally warm up.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
doesn't.
and Garrett runs hot. If you listen to the podcast, you know this.
So hot all the time, like sweating right now. So I just love it. Every morning I'm using it on my eyes, kind of just all over around. Like when I come back from a long day out and it's still hot outside, I'm like using it. At night, I mean, I don't really use the hot setting as much as I probably could, but you can use it for like lymphatic drainage, all that kind of stuff. It's so great. But I will say I have learned that using it dry is not as great as if you have some slip.
Sure.
So what I'll
yeah.
kind of do is I'll do those eye masks and then I'll use it over the eye mask.
Oh, I love this.
And then once the eye mask comes off and it's still kind of sticky, I'll keep using it. And it feels so good, you guys. You can make it like ice cold.
When you said the 3 settings, I was like, Garrett's definitely on like the hardcorest one. Whatever's like a degree above freeze or burn.
No
is
matter
for Garrett.
what, I'm always going the most extreme setting, no matter what it is. I'm like,
Turn it up.
Yeah.
You're like, let's go. Go hard or go home.
I also love it because it's like, it's small, right? So you can travel with it really easily. I was traveling a lot this summer. I took it, I used it.
Oh, for post-flight depuffing.
Yeah.
Or for waking up in a new hotel room where you're just like, why do I look different right now?
The airplane food has so much salt in it, like all that. You're just like depuffing like a crazy person all the time.
Facts.
And it's, I mean, comparatively to other gadgets, especially other Therabody gadgets, it's not that expensive. It's like $130.
Oh, okay.
But I find it to be one of the coolest. I mean, I feel like people are just really good at, especially for guys too, like, because guys just like, it's so easy to use. It's not, you don't even have to use product if you don't want to. I mean, I think
we've all established we need a little product, a little slip in between.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to. If your skin's not dry, it's like, could work better. But I find that it's better with some product on there. But I'm obsessed with that.
Thanks, Garrett.
What does she retail for?
$130.
She's not cheap.
She's not cheap, but she's also like a device, so you don't run out of it.
She's worth it.
She is worth it.
Julie, you're worth it.
We're all worth it.
What you got, Julie?
Okay, so I have a new skincare line called Nana by Dr. Bowache, which I had to practice because it does not sound what it is spelled like, does not sound like how it's pronounced. But I have it here. It is amazing. Now, the reason why it's so good, one, it's by a dermatologist, Dr. Bowache, but she is also one of the trio of sisters behind Karate. If you know that line, it's like this amazing shea butter.
Shea butter, yeah.
Shea butter line. So she's from Ghana. She uses these amazing ingredients from the continent and from the country. And this line is really anchored in cocoa. So it's amazing. It's brightening. It's the skin barrier protection, all of the things. I just love that she is kind of building on her expertise. So she's also worked to help formulate other brands that we know, like John Legend's Loved One. She helped with Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade's Proudly collection and Naomi Osaka's collection, Kinlo.
Oh, so it's Dr. Nana Beauty, Naana. That's her first name, right?
Right. So it's Nana by Dr. Bowache.
Right.
So I think that's the name of so Nana, Naana.
Is there a product you like out of the line?
Okay, my favorite one is the mask. She has this mask. It's called, let me read it, the Cocoa Brightening Gel Mask. So I love a mask in general, but this one is really great because it's like a 2-minute mask.
You've got Jess's attention.
Love it.
You don't have to like leave it on for a half an hour and like put it on for 2 minutes, brush your teeth, do the other things, wash it off. And like my skin feels just like so clean, but still hydrated and has this luminosity to it. So I really love it. And again, she's a doctor. She knows what she's talking about. She's helped create all of these other kind of amazing brands out into the world. And I love that she's doing one on her own. Also, look at the packaging. First of all, it's really pretty. And there's this one, this is the barrier cream. And look, it has like a little...
Oh, that's a new componentry.
Yeah, it's nice and like a little scoop. So it's really beautiful, functional.
So many rich creams come with the spoon, and I'm always like, doesn't everybody lose the spoon?
Yeah, but you don't lose it in this because it stays in the cap.
Yeah.
It's in the lid.
Does anybody keep the spoon when it's
What is the point of the spoons?
So you don't put your dirty finger into the product over and over again.
Okay.
I have to say, they fix the preservative load, so they're expecting it's going to be opened up the jar. You're going to put your fingers in it. But when you're paying luxury, why not have a little silver spoon to scoop it out, right? Or in this case, it wasn't silver.
I never keep it if it's
loose.
If it's loose, right? Know what the other one is? That night cream by La Mer. That one has like the scoop at the top, but it's magnetic. It stays.
Oh.
And I'm like, if you're spending, I think it's like $600 and something retail. So you better.
So you got a magnet.
Some type of. You better put a magnet in that thing. Yeah.
It comes with a scoop because it should.
Right.
Yeah. Does it do my taxes? Right. Like. No, I like that it's in the lid. I haven't seen that before. That's cute.
Yeah.
Is it for like a certain skin type?
Well, she is a Black woman, and her sisters are really trying to fill that void for skincare that is created for highly melanated skin. So it is, really formulated for melanated skin and like trying to work on our biggest skin concern, which is hyperpigmentation. But I always say that with a caveat that just because darker toned skin is centered doesn't mean it's just for that skin, right? We know as professionals, when you start with the deepest, the most melanin, the most kind of reactive or sensitive skin, you are obviously taking care of all skin when you start there. So I have to say that because I don't want anyone thinking it's just for Black and brown folk, because we need other people to help make sure these companies survive and thrive.
Listen, it says it's for radiance. I think all people want radiance.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Radiance for sure, but she definitely is killing it in the hyperpigmentation world of it all, which we know if you have more melanin in your skin, the more hyperpigmentation. But we all have melanin in our skin. It's just, it's at different levels. So everyone can use it. If you want bright, beautiful skin, buy some Nana.
Julie.
I think that was very well said.
Wait, radiance makes me think last night I met someone who used to be a beauty editor like us and then took a job for a brand doing copywriting. And I was like, oh, how did you like it? And she goes, girl, the amount of meetings we had over radiant versus illuminating.
Oh.
I was like, you're kidding. She's like, we would sit there and debate those two words. You, when you're writing a story, you're like, okay, I got to move around with the adjectives. She was like, just so you know, when you go into corporate—
I think they're two different things.
Okay, go on.
Explain.
I think illuminating, I would think there's some luminosity there, some sort of sheen. Like if someone says it's an illuminating powder, I'm expecting like a little bit of a highlight. Radiant skin is like my baby skin is radiant. Or like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a natural radiance.
That's true. A luminosity feels like there's something working
superficial, cosmetic.
Superficial.
Yeah, like
that's
outside.
like making it shine, like some reflective,
Little
like
mica
flex.
in the mix. A
Yeah.
Little mica in the mix.
I would definitely be the person who's like extending that meeting.
Powder, pearlescence, like all of those things, yes. Whereas radiant, I feel like that—
Clearly Julie would be too.
Yeah, no, Team Julie. Yeah, we're on the same side. Yeah.
Nana is giving you radiance.
Yes,
like
Nana's
your
giving you
skin
radiance.
is actually doing what needs to be done, not some superficial ingredient giving you the
Yeah.
illumination.
That makes sense because like radiance is coming from within and illumination is coming from outside.
She had a radiant smile.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It came from like her soul.
Right.
Yeah.
The medieval text was illuminated. It came from outside, from a paintbrush of another. Different.
Yes.
Yes.
Illuminated manuscript.
Yes.
There we are.
There we go.
Call back, Jen.
Yes.
We're so insightful.
We've cracked it.
We
Bring us to the meeting. Take us to corporate. Bring
The
us
meeting
show
will last
on the
15
road.
minutes.
I swear, if the four of us stood up there and said that to the VP of marketing, there's no way we wouldn't.
It's very simple.
Yeah, we've
it's
got
not
this.
hard.
Moving on. That's a meeting that can be 5 minutes in our world.
Tell her to call us next time.
Wait, that's so funny. Wait, my turn. One of the products for the brand that I'm showing and telling is brightening.
Oh my God, you didn't do yours yet.
Oh, now we
Jesus
added a whole
Christ.
nother thing.
Well, let's see how it plays in. I am showing and telling. This is what happens all the time when our listeners share something with us. I always track it down because I'm like, you went out of your way to call us, to email us, whatever. Meanwhile, I didn't even know this was a way you could get in touch with us, but on our website, we apparently have a questionnaire form, which I didn't know. Not sure where it is on the website. I'm doing a great job. But Carol writes to me, and it came through to like our info@Fat Mascara email. First, I love the show, blah, blah, blah. She told me about, she started using— It was nice, but I don't want to like flatter us. I'm not going to waste our time with that. We need to move on to the product. I have started using the Iota Super Vitamin Body Wash because I read about it on Instagram, and she loved the scent because it reminded her of Aesop hand wash, the resurrection that everybody knows, that scent. And so she had a question for us, which is there a perfume or body lotion that I think is similar to the scent of this body wash? So of course I had to get the body wash so I could then— I emailed her, we had a whole chat, whatever. Meantime, this brand, Iota, is my show and tell because I wasn't aware of it. And then, you know how things come into your purview from many different ways? I just met this dermatologist, Dr. Libby, not like 2 days ago at another skincare event, and she's one of the advisory board for this. So I got the body wash, and I'm using the brightening version. I love it. But the scent is Mandarin Rind and Cedar Atlas. Cedar Atlas, I don't know why. When anything has cedar. Do you guys like cedar?
I
love
cedar.
cedar.
I love
Why
cedar.
is it so good?
It makes me feel like I'm on vacation in like a lake house or right? I'm far away from home, but I'm still home.
I feel like a tree-hugging hippie who is just here to like be one with the earth and be grounded and that everything is going to be all right.
It's not like a breezy natural scent. It's a very grounding natural scent.
It's like crisp, but like also cozy.
Yes.
It's so good.
Don't you just feel like all is right in the world when you smell it?
Yeah.
You're just like, we're here, we're living, we're one with Mother Nature.
We're radiant. We're bright. Okay. I just love the smell, and she was right. It's gorgeous. But the whole brand, I also really like. It's plastic negative certified, so they're really mindful about their packaging. So they work with Repurpose Global to make sure they're not putting extra trash out, and they're taking trash out of the environment. They're climate neutral certified. They're 1% for the planet. FSC certified forest box packaging. Just the way they don't make it like we're clean, we're natural. They call it intentional body care, which I was like, oh, doesn't cedar also feel intentional?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It feels like it's already there, right? Like it feels like you don't have to make something up.
Yeah. So they're just, it seems like a brand that really thinks about the way they're doing things, which I love. But then the products are amazing. And the other one I'm using from them is the Super Cloud Plus Body Serum Brightening, which comes from Win-It-Thin. I think we can all agree.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's the bridge between
Right.
the two.
It's the one in the middle.
You're like exfoliating in order to brighten
Okay, so it's
or
not
something.
my internal skin has changed. It's not I'm adding mica to fake the brightening.
We just don't use the word lightening.
No, brightening is
True,
like
yeah.
I've exfoliated or actually this has AHAs and niacinamide, thank you, and mandelic acid. That's where my brightening is coming from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the body serum's delightful as well.
Is it like a clear serum?
Yeah, it's sheer, but it comes out of the package like it looks like they didn't dye it, so it's like a very natural, like greenish
Yeah.
gray. It's like unfragranced. So, but I don't know. I've been getting more into body care lately. I just feel like they've upped the whole body category is just finally getting to the level of skincare, and the products are like, oh wait, that makes a difference.
When do you put on the body care? Like right after you shower, just like anytime?
Well, I feel like it depends on what. You're talking about like the serums. And
Yeah. However,
that sort of
last night
thing,
wasn't
so-
a shower day. I don't shower every day, but I rubbed it all over my legs before I went because I was wearing shorts. Because I was also, and I guess I put that on dry skin, so it probably was not as beneficial as if I had put it on damp skin.
Okay.
Thoughts from the peanut gallery on that?
Also, this is like so silly, but I always feel cold like when I put on body care.
This is a benefit to some of us.
Huh.
Wait, like you feel colder when you have
This
like,
is so
lotion
boring.
on?
I'm not going to talk about this on the podcast. This is like,
She's already pouring herself.
yeah. We'll talk about this offline.
Well, no, then it's evaporating and you will feel cooler. That is,
Yeah.
whenever you put anything wet or, right? I don't know, but
Yeah.
those cocoa butter and shea butter always makes me feel cozy and warmed up.
But are you guys like lotion folks or butter folks, or like what are you doing?
I'm a serum folk.
It's just serum, but then you don't lock it in with like a moisturizer.
Oh, then I do a
like
body oil sometimes.
Then you're an oil girl.
I'll do oils more
Oh,
because it's
okay.
less cold. Less cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like anything.
Fast
light.
forward this. This is so silly.
No, I want to know what
just-
Garrett uses now. How is this silly? This is deep body care knowledge.
I love like anything lightweight. I love a spray.
Oh, you're.
I love like a serum, but I will not use a lotion.
How come?
Because it's too heavy, I feel greasy. Unless it's like I'm super dry and I really need that kind of moisturization.
See, lotion seems like watered down to me. Like
I get
like
you,
a
Julie.
cream, a butter, a oil. Like I want to be slippery.
Yeah, I would rather do a
shiny,
butter or an
slick.
oil than a lotion.
like a baby seal.
I want to be a baby seal. I want to just look like a glazed donut. Like I want to. I want to be glistening.
Don't men have more sebum anyway? Maybe you just like naturally a bit more moisturized than the three of us?
Yeah, I mean, guys do produce more sebum than women in general.
Yeah.
But
So we'll allow
also
your-
our body skin is thicker
Yeah.
than women. And we also have more hair. So like for me, it's like it's all of that stuff. It's like too goopy. It makes me feel like bleh,
All right. Yeah.
you know.
Even after an hour at the waxer?
So-
We just as if I wasn't going to call back and be like, what was he waxing? No. All right.
I know.
Moving on. Moving on.
we can go into that later if you really want to.
That'll be
Yeah.
like, I think next week is me and Garrett, like with our schedule that we have going. So maybe we can dig into that. I'm not going to bring that up here in the classroom. That'd be inappropriate. Let's be honest.
Well, I'm glad he has a rapport with her. It's nice that they have a good thing
the
going.
waxer. All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll see what listeners want to know from us. Okay, it's AMA, Ask Me Anything. Don't you feel like when people do that on social, it's a little bit narcissistic?
Absolutely.
Well, because it's always like, I'm going to be traveling for the next 5 hours. Ask me stuff. It's like, you can't entertain yourself.
Right. But I've done that.
Garrett, that's so true.
I say absolutely, even though I have done it before. And honestly, it's partly because, yes, it's a little bit of like, let me show you how cool and smart I am. But also, I get so many DMs that I like cannot get to. And so if I do have all of this time on my hand, look, if you see this and you like DM'd me before and it got buried, now is your time.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Seize the moment.
Okay, there's both sides of the coin, but I often feel like you can sniff out when someone's like, let me talk about myself.
Well, I also feel like sometimes when they repost the questions, it's all like, you're so handsome or you're so pretty or like, I just love your content. It's like, that's not a question. That's
Right.
just like reposting
You're like,
compliments.
thanks. Yeah.
I'm rethinking this segment, guys.
No, wait a second. There's still time, Jen. There's still time to delete
Well,
this.
the more fun part for me was I know we all bring something different to the table. So I was like, if the same question is asked of all of us, I'm curious about what you three would say. So whatever, I'm doing it.
Totally.
I like it.
It's too late now.
It's too late. We've committed. People called in, people wrote in. I've compiled just a couple. So the first one, and I think this is appropriate too, just to remind people where we came from. If anybody's like a new listener, maybe they see all four of us together and they were like, superpowers, I'm listening to this episode.
They're like, who is this?
Who the hell are these four people? The question is, what was your first big break in beauty journalism? Or let's just say journalism. What was your first big break in journalism? What was the piece about? So take that question as you would. And Garrett, tell us, what was your first?
Oh, okay. So if we're going to be beauty specific, I was working at GQ. I was a fashion editor, and I was kind of frustrated by the fact that we weren't covering. I was seeing grooming, men's grooming, become this larger and larger and larger thing. And I personally was very into it. I've always have been. And so I was kind of like, well, I think that we should be covering more grooming. I think that we're really missing out and we're doing a disservice to our readers. So through those conversations with my editor, I was made grooming director. And so one of my first real pieces I wrote about grooming for GQ was about facials and why a man should get a facial, which is not going to surprise no one because I love a facial and I got a lot of them. So it was like my first full page written first person story in the magazine. And until that point, I had written kind of blurbs and captions because I was a fashion editor. So I wasn't really writing full stories. But that was really exciting. And I got some really good feedback from our editor-in-chief, which was great on my first story. So it was all snowballed from there.
That's amazing. So you put, I think the lesson there is you pushed about what you were interested in.
Totally. And I also made a good case. Like I had reasons, not just I like this, but I was like, this is how it could benefit the larger magazine as a whole. And they believed me and they agreed. So it was awesome.
Awesome. Jess, I see you thinking. What do you got?
Oh, no, this is just my pose. This is my pose. This is my active
Jump
listening
in, Julie.
post.
Jump in.
Let me jump in because mine's a little different. I'm going a little rogue because I started in fashion as well, like Garrett. And I remember this moment so well because I had done a few internships in magazines. And so I had those byline moments. Like I had a byline in Vibe magazine when I interned there, and I had a byline in Condé Nast Traveler when I interned there. But when you're like, have a full-time job, your first byline. I remember that. I was in the fashion department at Real Simple magazine. And we had this section called road test. And we would road test items, clothing items, accessories, that sort of thing. And we did a road test on gloves, winter gloves, where we went to Chelsea Piers, had all these gloves, took like a bunch of staff members, and we had them skate around the ice rink for hours testing these gloves to see how warm they kept your hands, like how they were on the ice, all of that. And I wrote up this, maybe it was like 3 or 4 pages, road test of the best winter gloves. And you could not tell me I was not Robin Givon, like a Pulitzer Prize winning, fashion journalist. And this is back when the magazines were extra thick. I got so many magazines. I gathered my boyfriend at the time, and who's now my husband, and my friends, and we went and had dinner to celebrate. We went to Botino, which is still in Chelsea, a restaurant still in Chelsea, and then we went to Pop Burger in the Meatpacking District to celebrate afterwards.
R.I.P.
That I published my first
By
fashion
Julie
magazine,
Wilson.
like on the masthead, not an intern.
What was the best gloves? Do you remember what the best gloves were?
I feel like they were like, Gore-Tex, like Columbia.
Yeah.
Columbia sportswear, Gore-Tex, like gloves. But yes, it was a moment, guys.
Wait, was it really 4 pages?
Yeah, because it was like the best gloves for skiing or
big service package.
We said this is how we tested them, but we'd say they were so warm that you could probably go skiing in these. You could probably do this in these.
Yeah, remember Real Simple then? It was like a phone book when it came because it had that thicker paper.
I subscribed to Real Simple for a long time. It was so good.
It.
And you guys actually did the testing, whereas like now like somebody online will just be like, I like this one. Here you go.
Oh, yeah. We tested
affiliate links. Yeah.
Can you imagine having 4 pages for that kind of story these days?
Oh, my God. Like 4 pages. I'm going to, when this issue hits, I have that issue at home. I'm going to put up a picture of, when this episode.
Garrett, you have to share yours too.
I don't know. I'm sure I have it somewhere. I'll have to dig it out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And I'll put up the pictures of me going out.
Oh, yes.
With
like holding the magazine open. Did you take a picture like, that's me, that's my name?
I love that they celebrated.
Absolutely. I still get excited when I see my stuff out in the world. You see when you follow me, I'll go to the newsstand and be like, me.
Oh, same. Yeah. It never gets old.
Never gets old. I'm glad I'm not jaded. We're not jaded people. We love our jobs.
I know. They're great jobs. For me, like Julie, I did heavy internships when I was in college. And I think my big post-college break was definitely when I was at Bazaar. Truly a fairy godmother for me. And I've had a couple, so I've been lucky. It was Carrie Diamond. I worked with her at Bazaar. She was the beauty director there. And there were a couple issues where I wrote several features for Bazaar when I was an intern. She had so much going on, Carrie. She's such an amazing person. She's an author. She now has Cherry Bomb, which is her empire. And she gave me a lot of opportunities there. And I was able to write really just true features. I did the Bazaar opener. I did back of book features. So I was able to walk out and head into the professional world.
Do you remember what any of them were?
Yeah. An opener when Natalia Vojanova, who is now she's probably 40 years old now, but she was a new model. And it was a star is born or something, like Natalia has arrived. And I remember I was like, what do you think of that, Carrie? And she was like, I like it.
Carrie is a true icon and a benevolent queen. I remember being at Essence when it was under timing, and she was filling in. She was doing something at InStyle, which was also under timing at the time, and she tapped me to write a piece, a feature in the back of book feature on afros. And I remember her editing it with me, and she's like, this is so good, and just making it stronger in certain ways. And I was just
she's a good editor.
Wow. she's so kind. It wasn't like a mean anything. It was great.
And she set me up kind of thinking, and I joke around, like she set me up thinking that everyone would be like her. So then when I dove into the real world and found out everybody's not, that was something, but it's okay. So yeah, I had some really great clips, so I'll share one of those. But just if I can add a bonus one, when I got to my first big job at W, my first feature was like a true proper multi-page feature, which is like LOL. They don't really give those away to assistants anymore. I did one where I got a bunionectomy within my first couple of months of working. Jen and I both had bunionectomies.
What? Yes. But I didn't know it was written about yours.
I did a first person. And Jane Larkworthy gave me the head, which I remember we were laughing at, my left foot. And it was about my first person of my bunionectomy. And that was like kind of my first like foray into like, first person beauty writing. And that was something. So I got to do a lot of fun stuff like that at W.
I feel like such an ass because the editor who helped me with my first piece, I cannot remember her last name now. It's Suzanne. Anyway,
Suzanne where?
So she would have been, guys, I got hired in 2000 to work at Sephora's online quote-unquote magazine, which was like branded content catalog-y before there was that. So we were editorial. Everybody came from Cosmo. A lot of people. It was the former beauty director from Cosmo, Andrea Pomerantz, former deputy editor from Cosmo, Barry Gillies. And then this woman, Suzanne, who was the most amazing writer. And I used to like help her with her stories. For 2 years I worked there, never getting anything published.
Like, she was senior to you?
She was senior to me. Yeah, I was the EA. I was the editorial assistant.
Not Suzanne Cologne.
No, if you said it, I would know it. She had amazing, like, freckly skin, short black hair that was spiky. She was cool. But she was, like, a writer. I don't even think she was in beauty. I think she was, like, features, and then she got hired at Sephora. And I kept pitching stories to her, and, like, none of them were getting on. I wasn't a writer. I was like, I wanted to do beauty marketing. And then finally, it was the 2002 Winter Olympics. And I'm like, I love sports. And I was like, what if I do a story, like, each sport from the Winter Olympics and what their skincare item should be or would be? Like, based on, like, if you're a skier, your face is going to get chapped and you need X. If you're an ice skater, you need, like, whatever. And so she greenlit it and then tore it apart the first draft. And this was digital. It's funny because then I went on to just be in print for a long time. But you wouldn't even be able to find it online. This was like, we designed it with paper cutouts, scanned it, and then the PDF went up to the website, like, kind of. It was like piecemeal. There was no CMS back then. It was like, it took forever. It had to be like coded. So it was like a big deal to like get your shit onto the website because it was like labor intensive. Anyway, and it was like, what skincare matches up with what winter sport? Now I feel like a jerk because she's so helpful and really made me a better writer, and I cannot remember her last name. Wow. Anyway.
You got to have pieces come back bleeding in order to like be
red,
a real writer in this game.
But guys, I was like an A+ student. I did great at everything. It was the first time someone freaking took me down a notch, and it was so good because she was so right about everything. But I still had a big ego at that age. I was like, I am like a great man. I didn't think I was a great writer, but I could not.
But you would never say that to her.
No. But I also turned it in like I was turning in a term paper in college. Thinking.
There have been moments in the past several years where I've had issues where it's like, no, I don't know. And I'm like, no. You gotta.
To someone you were editing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, we would have never fixed our mouths to like come to our top editors and tell them.
I took that thing back to my desk. I was on the verge of tears. And then I was like, Jen, you're going to learn something. And I like poured over every question and query and.
Even if you don't agree, like I would go home and be like, I don't agree with that. I wouldn't say that to them.
No.
It's a new era though.
And then multiple pieces later that bled red ink everywhere. I became a better writer. So
bled red ink.
Yeah, you go to the bathroom, you cry, and then you go back to your desk and you fix it all.
The Sephora stall, guys, I cried so many times I can't even tell you my first job, but that's another podcast. All right, let's get back to this. Let me see. Okay, here we got some skincare. People want to know, 1 month before a big event, what would you do for glowing skin? Best treatment. It's 1 month before whatever it is, reunion, etc.
Fraxel.
Jess would get Fraxel. Okay.
But you gotta, first of all, you have to pay up and you need to deal with the pain. So it's definitely not
it kicks in like in a couple weeks. Yeah.
But also like don't go to some schmo go to somebody who knows what they're doing.
Good one, good
Because
one.
it's very serious.
Garrett, what would you do a month before a big event?
I was going to say a laser too. Maybe Fraxel. I would co-sign that. Or maybe like Clear and Brilliant or something.
Yeah, Clear Brilliant is definitely like the...
Guys, I don't think Clear and Brilliant, I feel like you need like
It
5
totally
of them to
works.
get. Yeah, but just one. So it's 1 month before. I would have started the Clear and Brilliant 5 months before, personally.
5 months before.
Because I would have
Okay.
gotten a couple.
Okay.
I will say I would do it a month before because I've done it before. If you've never done it before, do not wait a month before. I think for me, that's the biggest thing is like, don't do something brand new that you've never done before because you don't know
month too
what.
soon.
Yes, that's
Right.
great advice, Garrett. And if you've never done any laser, maybe don't do Fraxel.
Yeah.
Julie's face. What, Julie? What?
I'm not like a treatment girly,
Okay, what would you do?
but unpopular opinion, I would say get some sleep.
Okay.
I would just say, like, get on a better sleep schedule. I'm telling you, my skin, when I am on a better sleep schedule, my skin
1000%.
really thrives.
No, I would co-sign on that.
also say, and I know that this might seem trivial, but it's not, getting those clean skin club or whatever, like those single-use cloths.
Yes.
Did you see Jess actually talked about these recently? You agree?
Yes.
I'm obsessed. My skin has never looked better. You're not using that dirty towel or whatever next to your sink. If you are washing your face and drying it with a clean cloth every time, I'm telling you, game changer.
Isn't it funny that Julie also has children too? Like, I think it's our children.
Oh, maybe your kids have grimy finger.
No.
or stuff
I
on
just
the
like
towels.
my daughter is always using my towel with her like toothpaste and hand.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
There needs mommy towels. Mommy towels.
Garrett's like, not in my house. He's like,
And you
I have
can
a
get
beautiful
like the
bathroom.
biodegradable. They come in bamboo. There's like a whole situation because it's hard when you're like single use, but like they're biodegradable. It's fine.
Switch that out, sleep. Okay, I actually was going to say, if I don't know what age this person is, but I think a neuromodulator, the lightest touch of a neuromodulator does so much more than people realize for making you look glowy. For example, I just got my Botox and I often, or once a year, twice a year, I get filler as well, usually. New derm, she was like, let's just do the tox. I came back 2 weeks later and she was like, I don't think you need filler. And I agree with her. I feel like just lifting my forehead a tiny bit, I just felt like my whole face was refreshed.
So a month before, you would say, do the
For
Botox.
tox? Yeah, because I might even do it like a month and a half, but I don't like the way I look the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then the 4th week, it softens up a little. You're not as frozen. And you're just like, hello, I'm here. My eyes are like this. You know, my brows are a little bit lifted, but that's my age and my concern. So I don't know if that's for everybody, obviously. But people say, oh, it kicks in 3 days. And so get it like a week before. No, you'll look too fresh.
See, I like the fresh look.
You want to be snatched.
I want to be like frozen.
Yeah.
Snatched all the way
But-
snatched.
I think it's a personal thing too. Also, again, I think if you've never gotten Botox before, get it 3 months before, 4
Yes.
months before to see if you like it. And then
Am I the only beauty editor who's never gotten Botox?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It feels weird to me, but I've never like really written about it. So it's not like I'm out here lying, like writing a story about Botox. But I kind of feel sad that as like trying to be the best beauty editor ever, that I haven't like
No,
done
because
this.
then you see the beauty editors that get the treatment because they want to write about it, but aren't the patient, that don't need it. Until you have a derm look you in the face and be like, your 11s are out of control, which I'm looking at you right now and they're not. Why would you get,
Out of control.
you know what I mean? Why would you do it?
But I don't even like the idea of the 11s are out of control. Like,
No
why
one
do
would
you?
say that to you.
No, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I feel because I have like that heavy Middle Eastern kind of brow that like my brow just, and I look angry if I don't have tox. Like I have a deep one between my eyebrows, I think. People think I'm angrier than I am. So I get it just to like lift the brow a little, make me feel lighter and brighter. Clearly, this is me, not Julie's concern.
Thank you for making me feel better.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I started getting Botox at like 28 because a facialist
What?
like shamed me.
No, Garrett.
And I mean, I'm 28 years old. I like have amazing skin, whatever. And he was like, it might be time for some Botox. And
Oh my God.
in retrospect, it's because he wanted me to pay him to give me Botox. But wormed
Money
its
grab.
way into my head. And so ever since then, I'm like all about the Botox. So like, I do feel like there is something in this industry of, to Jess's point, like, you need this. Do we all really, like, no one needs it.
Correct.
If somebody's telling you that something in your face is out of control, and Jen, I know you were just being hyperbolic, but your natural face is out of control, that's really not okay.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? It's like the way you're aging is not appropriate. It's like, what? That's not cool.
No.
Well, I also think it's not our responsibility to like do something that we're not comfortable doing just for the sake of our job. Like some of us love treatments and some of us want to try them. Some people don't. And that's totally fine too, because not everyone out there wants this stuff either.
Yeah. I'm a little bit of a punk when it comes to like needles and stuff.
But also imagine like you work in any industry. Like let's say you're a travel agent or like, I'm thinking this out as I'm saying it. Okay, like if you're a travel agent or if you're like worked in cars or whatever, are you obliged to consume everything that you're selling or writing about?
No.
No.
Do you know only 1% of Americans have had Botox, by the way? I just read that stat.
Your vision is incredibly skewed. Like
Because
yeah,
99% of beauty editors have had
Right.
Botox.
Right. It's just because we get offered it all the time. Like my email, I'm sure I could go to my email right now in the bit of time.
Oh, like a
that we're
doctor wants
on
you to come
here,
in, they'll comp you
there's
with
literally
tox.
like,
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
some Botox. I've been offered a BBL. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been offered all the things. I've been offered a mommy makeover. Like get snatched after your babies.
forward it to me. So I would love to. Yeah, that sounds so crazy. I'm really against it, but definitely just like let me know what it is.
Okay.
So and I can investigate it. I can investigate. So no, but like I'd actually be curious to know. Maybe we should do like a poll. How many Fat Mascara listeners have had Botox? Because I actually think I really and like this is intuition. It's just intuition. I bet you it's fewer than we think. I think people are curious and open to it, but I think at the end of the day, who is throwing down? I've had Botox. I'm not against Botox. I think it's a wonderful tool. But I think the reality of the average person getting Botox in the world, because we have a global audience, is very different than like the beauty editor community.
That's true.
Right.
Totally.
On that, I will say, if you're gonna like, say you were gonna spend $400 like on an at-home device, you can also get one area treated with Botox for $400, and it does really change your face. I think that's where I was going with my answer.
It's still an aspirational product.
Correct.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Totally.
So it's Fraxel, by the way. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Fraxel.
And Clear and
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's a very aspirational
Meanwhile,
product.
Beauty Sleep is free.
Yeah, which is I think that's why I loved your answer.
Free 99.
Okay, so one more for the road before we go. Oh, we're all going to love this one. This is from Maria. I forgot to say the name of the other people. Annie was one, Denise, and Crystal, Ray, all of you. We love you. Lenny,
Thanks, guys.
Jody.
Yeah.
Okay, but so Maria wanted to know, this is hard, one fragrance to wear the rest of your life. What would it be?
I mean, mine's really easy. YSL Beauty's Paris.
Pretty.
That is what my mom wore growing up. So I just can't imagine not having that in the rotation and having it just to remind me of my childhood, my youth, and also my favorite lady, my mama.
That's so sweet. That's so beautiful.
That's a good one. Jess, what's yours?
I've been spending the morning thinking about this. I cannot give you an answer.
Okay.
I cannot commit to one
She
fragrance.
declines. Pass.
I'll give you a couple that I've thought of. One is, this is funny because I don't mention this one that often. I have mentioned it on the show, but not that often. Chanel number 19. It's a glassy and grassy
Ooh.
fragrance. It is
I like glassy. As an
yes, it's
adjective.
glassy and grassy. It is a cool cucumber. It reminds me of being younger because my grandmother wore it. And it's nostalgic, but it's also very modern. It makes me kind of stand up straight. I like that. But it's not like a great everyday fragrance, but it brings me back. So it kind of brings me back, but it propels me forward because it makes me want to kind of stand up straight and be like,
I like
okay.
that we have both like nostalgic ones about.
But it also feels modern too, though.
Right. I don't think YSL Paris smells old.
No, it
It's
doesn't. There's a
just-
reason why it still sells. Yeah.
It just smells good. It just reminds me of my mama and how fabulous she is.
Yeah. Garrett, does anything come to mind?
I think I would actually, funnily enough, also choose Chanel. This one called Le Lion, which is from the Exclusives collection.
Oh, cool.
I am obsessed with it. I have one of those huge bottles, and I have like a teeny bit left so I don't wear it anymore because I don't want to like get rid of it.
You better call Ruthie and Kara.
That's true. It's very expensive, so I don't want to like use up all my favors at once. But it's beautiful. It's like a really ambery kind of spicy fragrance, but it's not heavy like a wintertime. It's like really seasonless. It's very powerful, but not like aggressive. It's versatile enough that like I like to wear it day or night. You know how sometimes men's colognes, like they can be too heavy for daytimes and whatever, but it's like the perfect balance. And it's one of those ones too where like no matter what, every time I wear it, people like stop me on the street.
Nice.
And
I gotta try this.
It's beautiful. It's truly
also, it's
unisex.
called Le Lion.
Le Lion.
Yes.
Le Lion.
It's inspired by not an actual lion, but the idea of a lion. Like solar, bright, ambery, spicy, powerful. Like it's
Gabrielle Chanel was a Leo.
She was.
Ooh.
She was obsessed with lions. Because, that whole collection is very like it's inspired by her personal story.
Like the symbols of her. Yeah.
So, one of my favorites.
You guys just painted such 3 beautiful pictures. And of course, I took this to such a practical place. Like I was like, okay, you only have one.
Oh my God.
It has to work for school. It has to work for play, et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, I'm going to go with this skin musk. There's a nostalgia bit being, it'll remind me of Body Shop White Musk, which was one of my very first fragrances. And then I was like, which skin musk? And the one I came back to is Riddle Oil, the original Riddle Oil. It is a skin musk, but it's like every time I open the bottle, I'm just like, it's very comforting. You can wear it under other perfumes. I was being practical because it'll just like musk up whatever else you're wearing. You can wear it on its own. And it's one of those ones that has like a nice trail that the clothes that you wore when you have it on, then like it holds it a little.
I love that.
Know what my musk is like that? Is the Kiehl's original musk.
Oh, that would be a good answer too.
I used to wear that
good.
every day for like 15 years.
Good.
That one
incredible.
is so good. It does not miss every time. It just doesn't miss.
And it feels new again. You put it on here and people are like, what is that? Like it's some new indie whatever. And you're like, it's Kiehl's musk.
Well, part of it is because I feel like it smells a little different on everyone.
Yeah, it's a good musk.
Okay, well, Garrett's going to be back next week. This was so much fun. I feel like this episode's going to be like 3 hours long. I'm sorry, but you know what? It's fine. Everybody needs to get their beauty sleep. Julie Wilson, Jessica Matlin, Garrett Muntz, get your beauty sleep. I love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
See you next week. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Raise the Wand product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.